Hello champions, welcome back to another helpful video on your favorite channel Marks Plus to master 12 tenses in 5 minutes. So let's get started. First one is simple present tense. A tense which is used to represent a day-to-day activity in a simple form is known as simple present tense. For example, I learn every day or I walk every day. I read every day. I learn only today, etc. Next comes present continuous tense. When we discuss about present continuous tense, a tense which is used to continue a work in the present is present continuous tense. For example, I am learning right now. I am walking right now, etc. Coming to next tense, which is present perfect tense. In continuous tense, we use ing, whereas for short, whenever we discuss about perfect tense, then we are going to discuss about ed form. For example, I have learned recently. Coming to the next tense, which is present perfect continuous, so which describes both the past and still continuing in the present, so which is present perfect continuous tense. So for example, I have been walking for 3 hours. I have been learning for 5 hours. This can be considered as your present perfect continuous tense. Next, moving on to past tense. First one we have is simple past tense, describing a work which is done before in a simple sentence. For example, I learned last night. I walked at 8 o'clock yesterday. Coming to next one, which is past continuous tense. Here also we will use ing with respect to past tense. For example, I was learning last night. I was walking yesterday. Oh, I went to sleep. This can be considered as your past continuous tense. Next comes past perfect tense. For sure, ed should be used with had or have. For example, I had learned before I went to sleep. I had walked before I slept. Can be considered the major examples for past perfect tense. Moving on to the next tense, which is past perfect continuous tense. This can be defined as the work which is done before and still was continuing at that moment is called past perfect continuous. For example, I had been learning when my friends arrived, or I had been watching TV when the guest arrived. Can be considered examples for past perfect continuous tense. Moving on to the next tense, that is simple future tense. So, which is going to happen in future and how can you tell it in very simple sentence? That is known as simple future tense. For example, I will learn tomorrow. I will read that book day after tomorrow. Like that you can consider as your example. Next comes future continuous tense. Here also, as it is a part of continuous, I will for sure use ing but with respect to future. For example, I will be working tomorrow. I will be learning tomorrow. I will be going to temple coming weekend can be considered as the major examples for future continuous tense. Coming to the next tense, which is future perfect tense, of course ed will be used and you know that it will be almost done. So that kind of thing, but will be done in future, that can be considered as your future perfect tense. For example, I will have been learnt by 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. today. I will have been walked by tonight can be considered as your major examples for future perfect tense. Moving on, last but not the least tense, which is future perfect continuous tense. I will have been walking when you arrive tomorrow, or I will be learning when the guests have been arrived. So the work, you know that even it happens in the future will still continue, is considered to be future perfect continuous tense. So well, we came to end to our video for now. For more amazing content like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also comment your requirement.